In the vast, unforgiving heart of the African wild, where the sun dictates the law and the grass whispers secrets of survival, a legend is born. This is not just a story of a predator. It is a chronicle of a monarch. This is the life, the reign, and the eventual fall of the ultimate king of beasts. To understand the lion, you must look beyond the roar. You must see the struggle, the blood, and the raw determination that takes a helpless cub and turns him into a god of the savanna. Our story starts in a secluded thicket at the base of a jagged kopje in the Serengeti. The air is heavy with the scent of wild jasmine and dry earth. Here, away from the prying eyes of the pride, a lioness has found a sanctuary. This is where our king takes his first breath. At birth, he is a tiny, fragile creature, weighing barely 3 pounds. His eyes are closed, his ears are folded, and his coat is covered in dark rosettes that blend into the dappled shadows of the den. He is utterly helpless. For the first few weeks, his mother is his entire world. She is his protector, his provider, and his only source of warmth. She moves him frequently, gently carrying him by the scruff of his neck to new hiding spots. She knows that in this wilderness, silence is the only safety. Leopards, hyenas, and even rival male lions are constantly on the hunt for easy prey. In these early days, the future king is a ghost in the grass. He spends his time sleeping and nursing, unaware that one day, his voice will shake the very earth he now crawls upon. At 2 months old, the cub's world expands. His mother decides it is time for him to meet the collective, the pride. This is a moment of extreme tension. He must be accepted by the pride's dominant males. If a new coalition had taken over during his birth, he would have been killed instantly. But the resident males, massive and scarred, recognize their own bloodline. They allow him to crawl over their paws and chew on their tails. He charges too early. He trips over his own feet, and he earns the frustrated growls of the veteran hunters. But failure is his greatest teacher. He begins to understand that a lion's greatest asset is not its speed, but its patience. He learns to wait for the exact moment when the prey is most vulnerable. When he finally contributes to a kill, he experiences the brutal reality of the dinner table. The adult males take the lion's share, and he must fight his own siblings for the remnants. This hunger fuels his growth, turning his adolescent frame into a powerhouse of bone and sinew. The transition from prince to king is never easy. At 3 years old, the young lion's presence becomes a threat. His mane is beginning to darken and grow, a physical sign of his rising testosterone. His father and uncles see a rival in his eyes. In a sudden, violent display of dominance, he is driven out of the pride. This is the Great Exile. Overnight, he goes from a protected member of a family to a lonely nomad. This is the most dangerous phase of his life. He wanders hundreds of miles through territories that do not belong to him. He is hunted by other males and harassed by hyenas. Without the pride to hunt for him, he becomes a scavenger, trailing vultures to find the scraps of other kills. He becomes lean, his ribs show through his coat, and he is covered in the scars of small, desperate battles. But these years of exile are what forge his character. He becomes independent, cunning, and fiercely resilient. He learns to navigate the landscape like a phantom, avoiding conflict until he is strong enough to seek it. No lion is truly an island. Survival as a solitary male is a statistical impossibility in the long run. During his travels, he encounters another nomad, his own brother, exiled months after him. They do not fight. They recognize the mutual benefit of an alliance. They form a coalition. This brotherhood is the most sacred bond in a lion's life. Together, they are an unstoppable force. They share their kills, they groom each other's wounds, and they watch each other's backs while they sleep. With their combined strength, they can now target the heavyweights of the plains. They take down Cape buffalo, eland, and even young giraffes. Their confidence grows. They spend their nights letting out earth-shaking roars that signal their presence to the world. They are no longer running. They are looking for a kingdom to claim as their own. The turning point comes when the brothers discover a lush territory along the banks of a permanent river. The pride there is large and healthy, but the resident males are old and weary. Our lion and his brother begin a psychological war. They roar from the borders every night, creeping closer with each sunset. Finally, the challenge is issued. The battle for the throne is a prehistoric display of raw power. It is a clash of bone and sinew, a whirlwind of dust and blood. Our lion leads the charge, his massive mane protecting his neck from the killing bites of his rivals. He fights with the pent-up rage of his exile years. The old kings are eventually overwhelmed and forced to flee into the darkness. Our lion is no longer a nomad. He is the sovereign of the Riverlands. The transition is brutal. He must secure his bloodline by removing the offspring of the previous kings. But this is the cold logic of the savanna. He is now the protector of a new generation. For the next 7 years, our king is at the zenith of his power. His roar is the heartbeat of the valley. He spends his days in a state of watchful rest, conserving his energy for the defense of his borders. He is the ultimate guardian. When a nomadic coalition tries to sneak into his territory, he meets them with a ferocity that leaves no room for negotiation. He is a master of psychological warfare, using his scent and his voice to mark a boundary that none dare cross. In times of drought, he leads his pride to hidden waterholes. During the great migrations, he presides over the feast. He is the first to eat, the first to be groomed, and the last to back down. He fathers dozens of cubs, teaching them the same lessons his mother once taught him. Under his reign, the pride flourishes. He is the living embodiment of the king of beasts, majestic, terrifying, and absolute. But the savanna is a cycle, and the sun eventually sets on every reign. By his 12th year, the king's body begins to betray him. His muscles, once like iron cords, begin to soften. His teeth are blunted and yellowed. His once glorious mane is tattered and gray. He moves with a slight limp, the result of a buffalo horn injury from years ago. A new, younger coalition of brothers begins to prowl the edges of his land. They are hungry, fast, and ambitious. They hear the weakness in his roar. Our king tries to maintain the illusion of strength, but he knows the end is near. One night, under a blood-red moon, the challengers arrive. The battle is long and agonizing. Our king fights with the wisdom of 1,000 battles, but he cannot compete with the sheer stamina of youth. His brother falls first, and our king is left alone. He is forced to retreat, leaving behind the pride he built and the cubs he protected. He is a king without a country.